Okay, and you could just tell me your name and how old you are?
I am Sabrina Diaz. I am 18 years old.
Okay, so Sabrina, if you could just tell me, why did you leave school?
So there's a lot that went behind that. Well, in 8th grade, I gave up a lot because I didn't feel like, all right, I was at Boston Lion School, so I thought, I'm part of the best of the best. I'm where, the top students are. But I didn't really get that feeling from being there. And then the next year, I ended up having surgery. And so from surgery, I really needed a lot of support coming back. And during the time I left, and that support, I honestly didn't feel like I was given. Like that whole time that my mom asked for a tutor, called for a tutor, even went to the office, we didn't receive anything. Even when I got back, I had to do the work all by myself. And so I was like, all right, this isn't the school for me. I mean, I'm supposed to be getting support from the school, especially because if I'd gone through something that I couldn't really handle. So I was like, okay, I don't think this is a place for me. I'm not really happy here, and I'm not getting support. So I kind of just decided to leave.
What year were you in?
This was actually last year. So like the ending of 2012.
Was that your sophomore year?
Yeah, that was my sophomore year.
And so why do you think they weren't giving you that support, especially considering BLS is supposed to be this great school, right?
Honestly, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, seeing they have many students, they have a lot of reputation to hold up. And considering that they do have a lot of counselors, and I give my respects to the counselors who actually tried their best to support me, and the nurses really stepped in. But honestly, I don't know. Like, I feel like it should have been a lot more support, and they should at least tried a little more harder. And I give my respects also to the teachers who actually did try to push me through it and give me the leisure.
So what was it that you would like to have seen?
More support. Like, in general, that's the one thing that...
Well, what does that support look like? What would that have looked like to you?
The administrative, actually getting involved. Because at the school, I hardly saw the principal. I hardly saw any headmasters, except for like one. And he really tried. But I don't think he knew what was going on. And I think that's the problem. There were so many students in that school that there's not a way for all the teachers to actually know what's going on with one student. And so it kind of like gets in the way of getting the support what a student needs.
Did you feel like you reached out?
Yeah and no at the same time. When I was in the hospital, it was like, all right, I can't really do much, but my mom tried her best. She wrote letters, she called. The teachers came in and tried to help me out, but I didn't really see the higher power, the actual school, trying anything. And that's where I was like, okay, like, what am I here for? I'm just here as a number, like a reputation.
So then you kind of fell behind, and then that's why.
Yeah, I kind of fell behind, and I already repeated the 8th grade, and I didn't want to get held back again. And so I was like, wow, am I gonna make it? Luckily I did, and I was like, okay, but I still don't. So I tried to do 10th grade, and then halfway through the year I was like, yeah, I can't, this isn't the place for me. I'm not happy here.
So if would you say you dropped out, like it was your decision to drop out, or do you also feel like in some ways you were pushed out?
I think it was half and half, because I felt like I was just, again, a number. So I didn't feel like I was anything important to them. I was just a reputation, someone to make the school look even better. So in me dropping out, I just felt like, all right, my passion for learning, what I want, because I actually love learning, but being in the traditional setting that Boston Lion School had me in, it really killed it. And so I felt like that was part of the reason why I gave up and quit.
Okay. So despite having dropped out, what successes do you feel like you've had? In other words, what, some people might say, oh, she dropped out, she's not worth investing in. Why would you argue that you are worth investing in?
I came back. I came back and I'm actually graduating this June. So I think that's a big accomplishment considering last year I didn't even consider even coming back. I legit just stopped coming to school for like a great number of days and months and just didn't show up. And I mean, I came back and I'm like, all right, the system kind of failed me, but I'm gonna work with it. I'm gonna work with the system to get through it and then make it a better system eventually one day. And so knowing, like, going through everything I've been through and knowing all the flaws and a lot of where the holes where there needs to be a lot of work, I feel like that's a big investment because I've been through it firsthand and I know what it's like to experience it, so it's something personal. And also, I mean, yeah, I kind of like kept going and haven't really given up. I'm still trying, even though like there's many people who's like, oh, there's no hope, you can't do it. I'm still doing it.
And so, you know, some people might say, oh, you dropped out, you made a mistake. Why should people who made a mistake, let's say, be given a second chance?
We're all human. I mean, we all make mistakes. That's the one thing that makes us human, is that we have flaws. Like all the people we call heroes, they all have flaws if you look back into it. So it's like giving them the second chance is just, you know, letting them redeem themselves.
Okay. And why do you think it's important to have programs like BDEA, like an alternative way to get your degree or your diploma? Let's say you didn't have BDEA, where do you think you might be?
Honestly, if BDEA was not here, I honestly think I would have dropped out. BDEA, honestly, it has this reputation, the school where all the bad kids go, the last resort. And that's the one reason why I've tried so hard to not be here, and then actually saying, you know what, let me give it a try. It's better than dropping out. And coming here was like the best decision I've ever made because they give me the support I need. They're flexible. It's alternative. They fit people. It's individualized, and that's honestly one thing that the system flawed in. We have such a traditional system where it's set around one group of students, of individuals, and we teach them as if the one group is one person.
Okay. Describe a little more on what that traditional looks like.
Like, one class learns one thing at one pace. And there could be a kid who learns slower, who needs more help, who needs more teamwork, type of team building work. And there could be another student in that same classroom who's more independent, who learns way faster. And so they get bored in class. But the curriculum is all set so that whole group learns that one thing, that one way, that one time frame.
And have you seen your peers in, like, you know, if they didn't conform or fit into that traditional, feel like they had to drop out too, or that they were kind of pushed out?
Yeah, I felt like I know a lot of kids who just gave up, and there could be a lot of reasons why. I mean, we live in the inner city, so there's a lot of issues going around that also affect us. But as far as that, yeah, because they feel like they're not important, the teachers don't care, the system doesn't care. Like, I'm just another statistic, might as well fit into it faster than they expect me to. Like, this isn't going to help me in the long run type of mindset.
Okay. And, but do you also feel that there is a role that schools could do more to, like, not have youth feel that way and support them?
Yeah, they could actually, like, you know, if you see someone, like, falling in, like, a direction that, say, is bad or wrong, like, step in. And don't be afraid to, like, see what's going on, see where you could help, see what they need as far as support. Like, if they need another program, if they need a tutor, actually step in. Because some students don't talk, and that's just how it is. Like, they're more introverted, they're more set back, and hope that the people that they are supposed to look up to, the teachers, see that and try to help.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add?
That's about it. It's a lot more support, I think, in the big scheme of things is really needed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Nah.